Good morning, and good morning at home. A good place to be today if you're not close to the church. So there's a lot of songs out there by different people that refer to an inner life. Even Sting sings, we are spirits in the material world. Michael Franks, you may or not know him, but these are people that I love to listen to because I think they have a sense that there's a lot more going on in our bodies than we can see, feel, or touch. So when it comes to this idea of energy centers called chakras, they're really an opportunity to use them as a bit of a diagnostic tool. So when we're not feeling secure and stable, and trust me, I mean, if we had a difficult childhood, it's possible our first chakra is going to need a lot of work to feel stable and secure in the world. So that's a given. And then, when it comes to that, and by the way, these 7 energy centers are aligned from your tailbone right up through the crown. And that's why maintaining a very healthy alignment of your spine is important. And actually, I'm looking at some people who are just lying down. When you're lying down, your posture is pretty close to perfect. So, if you're lying flat on the floor, it's great. But sitting up straight, of course, the rest of the time that you're not lying down or standing up straight helps your chakras remain in a healthy position where they can do whatever it is they do, whether they spin or not, because they're referred to as wheels. So some people think chakras spin. But I just want you to be clear, and I'm wearing this shirt because it's definitely not accurate in terms of the alignment of the colors, maybe made in China where they have a different idea of chakras, not sure where it was, no, probably India. But I love looking at a rainbow. To me, that's our chakras. We're a major part of whatever the earth is made out of. So, we're all kind of rainbows in a way. So red is the beginning, the first chakra. The second one is orange, Swadhisthana, and it relates to our ability to be creative. Problem solving requires creativity. Relationships, it's so important. Our relationships are a major part of our mental and emotional health. I remember one tantric swami who said, in Western society, we're kind of too heavy in Swadhisthana because it also represents our sexual aspect of our humanness. Now, nothing wrong with it, but sometimes people are a little bit too much. So chakras can be weak and they can be, I don't know if overdeveloped is the right word, but a little too much. And as we move into the solar plexus, Manipura, I've often used the President of the United States, way imbalanced in his personal power. Obviously, we need personal power. It's kind of the battery of our being, but it's also associated with digestive issues and hormone production. So, and I'm going to be a little bit graphic here, but, tomorrow I start my 24-hour stint at the Shopping Channel. And typically I don't have any digestive or eliminative issues. But when I'm doing that job, there is so much going on that's borderline stressful. But, stress is motivating. So it's not a bad thing, but a little too much. And I have almost no time. Toilet time. Okay, we'll leave it at that. But I notice. So that's a diagnostic tool. If I'm majorly stressed out with no time, running around like a chicken with my head cut off, my digestive system, maybe yours, takes a hit sometimes. You're flying, whatever, traveling. So it's kind of normal. But and then you move into the heart center. Now that connects your lower chakras, which are mostly ego-based. To do with the physical, your connections to people, your ability to feel secure in the world, your ability to feel powerful. So those are all, tied in with the physical and ego. So then we get into the heart center. Being able to process grief and loss, which we all go through, is an aspect of a balanced and open heart chakra, anahata. And also, of course, being able to practice forgiveness, love, compassion, unconditional love. It's not easy. Always being kind. We may think, I might think I'm kind. For sure, I'm not kind all the time. And anyone who knows me really well, so I just need to own that and continue to be aware. And then your throat. So in order to have choice in life, we need to be able to use our voices. Makes sense, right? But that also can take courage. So today in this class, we're going to go through a bunch of postures, and we do in every single yoga class. So whether or not you even buy into this chakra thing or not, doesn't matter. Because when we practice yoga, we are balancing and opening up all the chakras. So when you have a balanced practice, basically, if you spend your whole time doing back bends, well, then you're only focusing on, the heart and Manipura, maybe the throat as well. But then we move in from the throat, we get into ajna, your third eye. And this is an interesting chakra because when it's open, we can see a bigger picture of life. We're not just stuck in some little microcosm or something that's so self-absorbed and narcissistic we can't see past it. So opening up the third eye, it's almost, in some ways, it's similar to the crown chakra in that we need to focus, we need to find stillness, we need some quiet. And often we close our eyes and we go inside. So, the saying, in order to find out, we have to go in. So basically, again, just to repeat this, these chakras can be a bit of a diagnostic tool so that where you're having an issue in your body could relate to an emotional or psychological weakness, block, and being mindful, being open-minded. That's another unbalanced third eye, is people who are absolutely sure they're 100% right all the time. They don't have an open mind. They are very locked into, attached to their own opinions and ideas. And again, I can see that in myself. So, it takes humility. It takes honesty. It takes reflection for us to become more aware, caring, loving, not judging, not blaming. You're not wrong. You're not guilty. We're not any of that. We're just humans doing our level best, trying to figure it all out before our time's up in this lifetime. But we will get it all. So it's not a competition. It's not something that we should lose sleep over. Sleep is important. In fact, a lot of things happen in the unconscious and subconscious while we're asleep. Sometimes you remember it, sometimes you don't. Don't worry, it's parked. Only 10% of our mind is conscious. If we want access to the rest of it, then meditation and stillness, time in nature, time alone, these things will all help us know ourselves better and live lives of joy, peace, connection, and I think what's really important, gratitude. Okay, so let's get started on all fours. Given that the chakras are all along the spine, your cat and cow warm-up, always very useful and important. And as we go through our postures today, I am going to remind you of which ones are being activated. So starting on all fours. If you need extra cushioning underneath your knees, please either roll your mat over a little bit or take something and place it underneath your knees. So going inwards. On an exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin, and pull your bellies in. On an inhale, curl your toes under, hollow out your lower back, draw your heart center forward. Exhaling, flatten the tops of your feet, round your spine. So by bringing the chin in towards the chest, we start to purge the throat chakra of waste. And then on an inhale, when you curl your toes under, drawing your heart center forward, opening up the chest, opening up the throat, and let your eyes roll up to your third eye, Ajna chakra. Exhale, round your spine, pull your bellies in, tuck your chin. Inhale, curl your toes under, draw your heart center forward, open up your throat, Vishuddha chakra. Exhale, round your spine. Tuck your chin, pull your bellies in. Inhale, curl your toes under, draw your heart center forward, open your chest, lengthen through your throat, eyes rolled up. Last time, flatten the tops of your feet, round your spine. Inhale, curl your toes under, hollow out your lower back, draw your heart center forward, eyes rolling up towards your third eye. Exhale, coming back into tabletop. Let's thread the needle. Inhale, sweep the arm up, reaching and stretching. Exhale, bring it underneath the other arm and bring your shoulder and perhaps the side of your face onto the mat. If you want to, you can take the other arm, the left arm, and tippy-toe the fingers out in front, holding here, stretching the spine. This is always key, not just for your chakras, but to reduce the impact of gravity on our spines, as well as perhaps a little hunching, collapsing throughout the day when we get tired, we're not sitting properly, or maybe we're in a sofa that's super soft. And then draw the hand that you may have put out front, coming back into tabletop. Inhale, sweep the other arm up. Exhale, thread the needle, releasing your shoulder and the side of your face onto the mat. And draw your arm back. And now, if you have a cushion nearby, you might not, but for puppy pose, again, this is opening up the chest. You're on your knees, you keep your hips up, you're reaching your arms in front. You may be able to lower your forehead onto your mats, or you may need to add some height, and that's where you can put your block or your cushion under your forehead. Opening up the heart center, anahata. The color, they all have colors. The heart, mostly seen as being green. There are some disciplines see it as pink. But for me, eating green foods, even wearing green clothing, but thinking and visualizing green can help to unblock and bring energy into anahata, the chakra of the heart. So it's not the physical heart we're talking about, it's the energy that we associate with the heart. And then pressing up. And now for camel pose, opening the heart from the front. So this is going to be a back bend, all your back bends. Again, you might want your knee cushions. If you curl your toes under, your heels are going to be closer. If you are going to place your hands on your heels, you may not. You may just want to place your hands on your hips. In fact, to start, let's put our hands on our hips, curling the toes under, knees hip width apart. So knees, hips. And then on an inhale, lift your heart center, press your thighs forward, and let your shoulders move back, leaning back. You might just stay here, or you can try to place one hand on a heel, maybe another hand on the heel, and then pressing and lifting through the chest, through the heart center, maybe letting the head fall back to open up the throat, Vishuddha chakra, finding power in our voice, breathing, and then bring your hands back onto your hips, and let's come into our modified child's pose. Knees are as wide as your mat, big toes touch, flatten the tops of your feet, slowly take your hips back towards your heels. Once again, you may wish to have a cushion to place underneath your head. If that's not available, you can always fold one forearm on top of the other, or if it's available, release your forehead onto the mat, breathing into your side and back ribs. Inhale, come back. Let's try camel one more time. Curl the toes under, on your knees, hands on your hips. So there's no need to go any further than feels comfortable for you. But on an inhale, lift your hearts, perhaps your gaze up towards the sky, pressing your elbows towards one another. Again, be mindful if you have any shoulder issues. Lifting, lengthening. You're going to feel this in the front of your thighs, your quadriceps, and then place one hand on a heel if that's available. If it's not, keep your hands on your hips. That's just fine. Breathing, opening up the heart for more love, more joy, forgiveness, openness, kindness, patience, tolerance, all the lovely virtues. And then place your hands back on your hips, and let's come into one more child's pose. If you wish, you can make it the proper child's pose where your legs are together, or you can do your modified, your choice. I'm going to do true balasana, child's pose, with my knees together, lowering my torso onto my thighs, releasing my forehead towards the floor. And that will do. Curl your toes under, roll back onto the soles of your feet, and let your upper body hang. So this is helpful for our second chakra, Svadhisthana. And you can bend one leg, straighten the other. So when Svadhisthana is out of balance, we can be hard on ourselves. We can feel guilty, blaming ourselves for something, just not feeling good about ourselves. Emotionally unstable. These are all normal human conditions. So it's not like there's something wrong with us. That's just the way we have all these little issues in our tissues. But knowing which chakra may be out of balance can be helpful to eat the color of the food. So in this case, Svadhisthana, the color is orange. So eat oranges, eat orange peppers, eat carrots. And then let's slowly roll up one vertebra at a time, with your head being the last thing to come up. Okay, so let's take mountain pose, Tadasana. Obviously, this is for our first chakra. So just standing strong, outsides of your feet are parallel with the outsides of your mat. Engage your thighs, lifting up on your kneecaps, draw your sternum, xiphoid process actually, but the bottom of your sternum away from your pelvic floor. Inhale, shoulders up, exhale, roll them back, pull your armpits down, let the crown of your head float up. So axial extension, we're actually activating Sahasrara, the crown chakra. Violet, you might notice I'm wearing a violet bandana on my head tonight, or today I should say. And activating Muladhara. So you're visualizing the colors red. Muladhara, your root chakra, feeling solid, stable, balanced, really grounded through the soles of your feet. Imagine if your feet could grow roots into the floor. This is key for us to feel stable, secure in the world. But of course, all the chakras all work together. And by the way, they exist in the subtle or astral body. So we talked about the astral, the causal giving birth to the astral, the causal body being thoughts and beliefs, the astral body being feelings, emotions, and memories. This is where the chakras are mostly living. But again, you can read a lot of different books and they may say different things, but as long as I've been studying it, this seems to be the consensus for what I'm sharing with you. Okay, reaching up through the crown, rooted through the soles of the feet. Let's come up to the front of our mats, and truly, sun salutations are working every part, every aspect of your chakras. So inhaling in place, exhale, hands in prayer. Seriously feel very, very rooted and grounded through the soles of your feet. They're not lightly, they're like you're feeling the weight of your body through the soles of your feet, secure, stable. This helps to open and balance the first chakra, Muladhara. The color is red. Step your feet apart. Reach your arms up, look up, reach up, arcing back. Once again, we are opening up the chest, activating Anahata, Vishuddha, the throat chakra, Anahata, the heart. Inhale, bring your feet back together. Lift out of your waist. Exhale, reach forward, stretching the upper part of your body as you fold, activating Svadhisthana, second chakra. The color is orange, has to do with our relationships, our ability to be creative. Step your left leg back, drop the knee to the mat. Bringing your hands onto your front thigh. We're coming up for a balanced posture, so focus your gaze about 8 or 9 feet in front of you. Inhale, lifting, sweep the arms up. So focusing, gazing with your eyes, activates Ajna chakra, and of course, feeling secure, even though we might be wobbling a wee bit. Muladhara, root chakra. Turn your hands forward, spread your fingers apart. Manipura, your third chakra, the battery of your being. This is your solar plexus. This strengthens you, your willpower, your confidence. Now, of course, if this is not helpful for your wrists and shoulders, then lower your knees, cross your feet at the ankles. If you're able to hold and push up, you are strengthening Manipura, your solar plexus. Pull your bellies in, developing willpower, the ability to be productive, get things done. And then release your knees, flatten the tops of your feet, take your hips back towards your heels, release your belly onto your thighs, stretching everything out here for a moment, taking any pressure off the shoulders, off the wrists. Just breathe here. And then leaving your hands where they are, let's slowly come forward. Keep your bum high. You've got your chest low. And when you're able, releasing chest and chin onto the mat. I know this is an awkward, difficult pose. There are myriad benefits to it. Stretching, fifth chakra, Vishuddha, the throat. Leave your hands where they are. Come on all the way down. Forehead on the mat. Fingertips aligning with the edges of your shoulders. Shoulders away from your ears. Elbows into your side body. Forearms towards the mat. Tops of feet are flat. Hips and pelvis pressing in. Roll an invisible alley. Lifting your head up, coming into baby cobra. Again, this is activating heart, throat, and root chakras. All of them, to be honest, are always, none of them work independently, but certain postures are more potent for particular chakras. And I'm repeating myself. If it all sounds like hogwash, it's okay. You get the benefits from yoga whether you believe or not. But we think about chakras, as I said, as diagnostic tools to help us better know ourselves, be more emotionally, mentally, and physically balanced. One more breath in to lift, lengthen, exhale, all the way down. Curl your toes under, press into your hands, lift your hips up, and walk your feet a few inches forward. You're on the balls of your feet. You're pressing the tips of your fingers into the floor, the heel of your hand, pressing your belly towards your thighs, chest towards knees, heels towards floor. And breathe. Muladhara, root chakra, red. Lift the left leg up in the air. Look at your left hand and swing that foot as far forward as you can. Other leg forward. And let your upper body just hang. Especially your head. Let the crown hang. Arms beside your ears. Lift your kneecaps to engage your thighs. Sweep your arms in front, reaching up, feet apart for balance. Look up, arc back, open up. Inhale, reach up through the crown, through your arms. Exhale, forward fold. Let your head hang. Give your head a swing. Bend your knees. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, reaching up. Exhale, hands in prayer. Let's do one more round. Inhale, exhale, hands in prayer. Step your feet apart. Reach up, look up, open up, arcing, stretching. Inhale, bring your feet back together. Lift up out of your waist. Fold from your hips forward, letting your fingertips alight on the floor. So bend your knees if you need to. Step your right leg back. Drop the knee to the mat. Bring your hands onto your left thigh. Focus your gaze about 8 or 9, 5 or 6 feet in front of you. Inhale, lifting up. Press through that back heel. Press through the back heel. That's your anchor. Focus with your gaze, activating your third eye, Ajna chakra, the color indigo. And then turn your hands forward, spread your fingers apart, take that front leg back, come into whatever plank position is working for you. Press your fingertips into the mat. This activates more of the muscles of the forearm, the shoulders. Pull your bellies in. Press through your heels. If you are in the plank position, press backwards through your heels. Reach through the crown. See your body as strong and straight as a 2x4. Then release your knees. Flatten the tops of your feet. Take your hips back towards your heels, and just let your belly and part of your torso rest on your thighs. And breathe, gathering your energy. Leave your hands where they are. Keep your bum up, but bring your torso nice and low towards the floor as you come forward, releasing your chest and your chin. This posture not only helps with the alignment of your spine, it's nourishing for your adrenals and your kidneys, which are in your lower middle back, working 24/7. Leave your hands where they are and slide through. Bring your forehead onto the mat. Align your fingertips approximately with the tops of your shoulders. You may wish to spread your feet a little wider apart. Keep the tops of your feet flat on the mat. Roll your baby toe and press the outer part of the toes, baby toe, into the mat. Move your elbows in towards your side body and your forearms down towards the mat. Roll an invisible alley with your nose. On an inhale, we're all coming up into baby cobra, baby bhujangasana, opening shoulders, chest. And then if you wish, if your lower back will benefit, press the floor away from you. You're not likely going to be able to straighten your arms. Some of us will, but most of us won't, because if we straighten our arms, our shoulders come up around our ears and we lose the benefits and the alignment of this posture. One more breath in. Lengthen. Exhale. Lengthen as you lower. If you separated your feet, bring them back towards one another. Curl your toes under. You may want to come up onto your knees first, or you're just going to lift your hips up. Walk your feet a few inches forward. Bend your knees. Bring your belly onto your thighs. Keep your knees bent. Bring your chest towards your knees. Pressing all 10 fingers into the mat. Your fingers are wide apart. And now press your sits bones towards the back of the mat and press your heels into the mat, enlivening Muladhara root chakra, feeling stable and secure. And then give your head a little bit of a swing so you know you're not holding up this 12 to 15 pound bowling ball. Just let it, the weight of it, lengthen your cervical neck vertebra. Stretch it out. Then lift your right leg up. Look at your right hand. Swing the foot as far forward as you can. If you didn't go that far, remember you can always drop the other knee, pick the foot up at the ankle, move the foot forward, other foot forward, and just let your upper body hang, stretching out the lumbar. Again, please give your head a little swing. Once you start knowing that you are letting go of holding the head, you don't have to give it a swing, but it's always nice to check in. Arms beside your ears. Engage your thighs by lifting up on your kneecaps. Pull your bellies in to protect your lower back. Sweep the arms in front, reaching up, feet apart for balance. Look up, arc back, open up. Inhale, bring your feet back together. Lift out of your waist. Exhale, reach forward as you hinge from your hips. And then bend your knees. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands in prayer, Anjali Mudra. And let's take a sip of water. And then we're going to practice pigeon pose on our stomachs. Oh, look at that wind out there. Aren't we lucky? Yes, it's a fresh day. Fresh, a lot of energy out there. You see it as energy or just, it's beautiful. It's weather. It's weather. That's right. More snow. It feels normal. That's why we don't have palm trees. Okay, so come on down into a downward dog again. And we're going to start with the right leg first. Now, actually, you know what? Let's get a cushion and place it near the front of the mat. Let's place it on the left side to begin with. So a cushion or block, whatever you have, you may wish to use it. So coming into downward dog, let's just walk the dog a little bit. Nice big walk and move the hips. So one leg straight, really move those hips a lot, knees. I was going to do some hip and knee rotations, but I forgot next week. Okay, let's lift the right leg up and then bring the right knee forward. And I should have said place the cushion on the right side. Whichever knee is bent, you may wish to put the cushion underneath the hip of the bent leg. So you're bringing the knee as far forward as you can. You got it. Now, yeah, and bring your foot off to the side. Maybe if I have to ask Santa for a square mat next year. I just don't know if Santa knows the right kind to get. You know, I look at them online. You don't know what you're getting. Okay, so yeah. So what you do want to try to do is have your hips and your shoulders square to the front of your mat, if possible. So your back leg is straight out behind you. If you can square as opposed to being off to the side, Can you square your hips and your shoulders towards the front of your mat? Now, this may be as far as you're going to go. But maybe coming down onto your elbows, maybe. Breathe into that right hip. So this is a posture to activate, balance, open second chakra for creativity, relationship, emotional stability. And then maybe you can lower your forehead. You could stack your fists, but do not do too much. Don't go too far. You want to feel something, but you don't want to feel too much. So by holding the posture and relaxing the muscles, we start to stretch some of the connective tissue, which I think most of you are pretty clear about this stuff now. It's a heavy, tight, very stable covering over everything of the body, but what we're focusing on is having more mobility in our joints, being safe about it. So if the muscles are relaxed, the emphasis shifts onto the connective tissue surrounding the joint. If the muscles are active, then they're taking away some of the work that the connective tissue might do. And of course, in yin, because connective tissue is not elastic, it can lengthen, but there's no elasticity. Holding it helps it lengthen and ultimately bring more mobility to our joints so that we can be more adaptive to doing the things we like to do with ease, and also recover if we lose our balance or we trip. Instead of landing like a ton of bricks, maybe we recover, maybe we can land a little more lightly because we've got more flexibility and mobility in our bodies. And just a couple more breaths here. And let's press up. Remove whatever cushion you had. And I've got to turn around here to come to the front again. And then we're going to come back into another downward dog. So curl the back toes under. We're going to walk that dog. The invisible dog. No poop to clean up. There are more dogs in Canada now than kids, huh? But of course, some people think their dogs are kids or something. Call themselves mommy and daddy. But I love the joke. Why are dogs so well adjusted? Because they're taken away from their parents at such an early age. Okay, now we are going to lift the left leg up in the air, and you're going to bring your left knee towards the left hand, and the bottom of the leg goes out to the other side, and then you're going to use your cushion. So I'll come around again. So just do the other knee, whichever it was, and then get comfortable with your hip resting on the cushion. And maybe this is as far as you're going. You may not go any further. It's okay. We should be kind to our bodies, but if it's available, come down onto your elbows. And if you come down onto the elbows and you say, you know what? Because I got a bit of an SI thing going on right now, so I'm just going to hang out here. So when we practice mindfully, chakras aside, we really provide a service to our bodies. First of all, to become aware where there may be an issue, a tightness, a strain. Just become aware of it. And with loving care and attention, we might be able to work it out. The knot, the block, the tightness, the tension, the stress, wherever it came from, we don't know. We don't have to know. We practice in good faith. We breathe. Deep exhaling. Couple more breaths. Lovely. Pressing up. You can place your cushion off to the side. Remember to take a sip of water whenever you're inclined. Come on down onto your backs. Draw your knees in towards your chest, one hand on each shin. Little gentle rocking from side to side. Maybe making circles. Keeping your knees bent, place the soles of your feet flat on the mat. Heels aligned with your sits bones, arms beside your body with your palms facing down. Lift your shoulder blades up and tuck them under your heart center. Tilt your chin towards the center of your chest. Press the small of your back into the floor and peel your spine off the floor, coming up into bridge once again. Opening Anahata, heart chakra, little bit of a purge here for throat chakra, Vishuddha. Every compression we make is an opportunity to remove physical or ethereal matter from a particular area, in this case, the throat. And slowly, starting from the top of your vertebra, come on all the way down. Now an opportunity for fresh arterial blood to rush into that throat area. Arms beside the body once again, palms facing down. Soles of the feet are flat. Your knees are aligning with your hip bones, those bones right in front of your hips. And again, tilt the tailbone up, pressing the small of your back into the floor. Then peel your spine off the mat. Bring straight arms, if you can, underneath your body. Interlock your fingers. Knuckles are pointing towards the heels. If your arms are not straight, then I don't want you to lower your torso onto your arms. Only if your arms are straight will you lower the torso now slowly onto your arms. So you're either holding the position up or you're releasing your arms if they're not straight under your body. Inhale, press up. Exhale, lower down. Inhaling, pressing up. Releasing your arms from under the body and slowly bring it all the way down. Extend your legs straight out in front. You're going to lift your upper body off the floor, coming up onto your elbows, and then you're going to lower your head back down. So most of the weight's going to be in your lower body and your elbows, and then the crown of your head just lightly comes down onto the mat. Fish pose, obviously opening up the throat chakra. Eyes are closed. So there's energy also flowing upwards towards your third eye and the crown. Crown chakra, Sahasrara, violet colored. Your third eye, indigo, very deep dark blue. Your throat is a lighter blue color. Next time you see a rainbow, have a look. Inhale, lift your head up. Come on all the way down. Gently turn your head to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Back to the center. And then one last posture before we hit Shavasana. Bring your hands underneath the backs of your thighs and rock up to a seated position. We're going to strengthen our Manipura with Navasana, boat pose, everybody's favorite. Okay, not your favorite, but it's, so we've got options here, but basically what you want to do is keep your chest open and lifted and your shoulders back. So find the sweet spot with your legs in a tabletop position, and you can stay right here if you like. Other options, release your hands. So lift your gaze, bringing your hands back underneath your thighs. Can you straighten your legs? And look at that, Jennifer. Planet Word. Okay, beautiful. Bring your hands onto your shins. Do a little rocking from side to side. We're going to stretch out the lower back. Making circles. And I love it. My SI joint has not been happy since yesterday. It's a little happier right now. I hope whatever was lurking in your body, that it's been worked out a little bit, if not completely. Extend your left leg down in front. Place your left hand on the outside of your right knee and draw it across your body. Supine twisting. If you can, take the right arm out to the right side or place it wherever you like. Again, you don't have to twist very far to feel this in your hip, your butt, or your iliotibia band that goes from your knee to your hip on the outside of your thigh. Breathe into this area. Ujjayi breathing, where you narrow the back of your throat and you hear that sibilant sort of hissing sound, is a wonderful breathing technique. When we're practicing our yoga, you slow everything down, you become more mindful. It has an alkalizing effect on the body as opposed to acid. We want our bodies to be more alkaline than acid. So breathe into whatever area of the hip or the thigh is feeling tightness, tension, stress. Hips are part of second chakra, Svadhisthana. Color is orange. Center for creativity, emotional stability, sensuality, or even just feeling amorous, frisky. Hee hee. Okay, come on back onto your backs. Draw the right knee in. Bring the left knee up and into your chest. Extend your right leg straight down in front and take your right hand on the outside of your left knee and draw it across your body. Again, using your breath, your caring awareness to help release whatever the hip or thigh or glutes are holding. To release or at least relax it and eventually let go. And then returning. And if you have something you wish to cover your eyes with or clothing you wish to put on, please do that now. Bring your body into Shavasana, flat out and relaxing. Arms are beside your body with your palms facing up in the open and receiving position. Eyes are closed. Let your eyeballs sink into their sockets. Relax your jaw by separating the biting surfaces of the teeth. Let your tongue float in Shavasana. Let your bodies be soft and heavy. Do not skip this posture. It is the opportunity for your body to integrate and upload the benefits of what you have just done. It also activates crown chakra, Sahasra. Activating the crown chakra helps to connect us spiritually, to transform knowledge into wisdom, and of course, all of those things can happen when there's a reduction of ego activity. Ego being, I'd rather be right than happy. Ego being, everybody else is stupid, doesn't know. I know everything. I know what's best for you, etc., etc. You know, it's hard to entirely avoid. You can't get rid of the ego. We live with it. But we should be aware, try to be aware when the ego is taking over and overriding our humanity, our ability to just unconditionally love, accept, or just detach. We're called human beings, not human doings. There's real importance in not doing and just being. Becoming aware of your breathing, if you're not already. Letting the exhalations be at least as long, if not longer, than your inhalations. Bringing ourselves into our parasympathetic nervous system to help heal, restore, repair, and rebalance every single aspect of our physical, emotional, and mental bodies. And then inhaling through your nose, long, full, and deep. And deep, exhaling. Long, full, deep, inhaling. And deep, exhaling. Inhale, stretch your arms over behind your heads. Reach and stretch. Point feet far. Flex and point. And gently drop your arms down beside your bodies. Rolling over onto your side, bending your knees. Take your time to use your top arm to press yourself back up into a seated position. Sitting up tall from tailbone right through the crown. If you wish, join me in chanting Om once. Inhaling together. Om. Om Shanti, peace, namaste.